Allocate it under programming expenses. Hello, friends and colleagues. My name is Rachel Shane, and welcome to the University of Kentucky and my Financial Management for Arts Organizations course. This is an undergraduate class taken primarily by seniors who are preparing to graduate. Because the course is more advanced, it lends itself to case study utilization. Through some trial and error, I have developed a course that now centers on a semester-long study of a real arts organization. At the University of Kentucky, our students in the major of Arts Administration have a variety of interests. Thus, I research and select 4 different arts organizations that the students can select from in a variety of arts disciplines. A visual arts organization.
We only got the financial aspects of, our museum that we studied, but we also talked in class with the other people studying the different theater companies and whatnot, and we kind of got a feel for what they were doing and the differences that we had in our own organizations.
A theater company.
For this class, we were required to take accounting 201 and 202. They're geared towards business students and using for-profit organizations and companies that I didn't quite get a grasp on how they were ran. And so knowing how a theater company was ran and applying it to a theater company made me understand those a lot better.
A dance company.
I really liked being able to choose an organization at the beginning of the year and then build stepping stones for that organization throughout our 15 weeks.
Or a symphony orchestra.
We really looked at kind of a average mid-sized orchestra. I'd say I feel pretty confident applying all this information to other arts organizations because of its average size.
Then the students self-select by choosing the organization that they wish to study throughout the entire semester. Using the selected organization, the students complete a series of assignments which require research, data analysis, critical thinking, and application.
I think that focusing in on one organization the entire semester instead of jumping around really allowed me to gain a deeper understanding that I wouldn't have achieved if I'd been jumping between different organizations and having to constantly rebuild my basis of information for each project.
Now, while all the assignments are assessed and graded individually, the case study format allows students to work together to brainstorm and troubleshoot.
I think having it individualized allowed all of us our own kind of freedom, and you feel accountable for your own work, and especially since it is an upper level class, we're all invested and sort of have our own strong personalities and ways of working.
This is particularly helpful in this course due to the challenging materials and complexity of learning outcomes.
Working in groups kind of basically put people on the same page, and you can cross-reference some of your numbers and things, and it gives you a little bit more confidence.
But at the same time, I think each of our individual final products were stronger for the collaborative nature of it, because we were able to bounce ideas off of each other and have good discussion, but then at the end of the day not be completely invested in maybe your opinion, and we could sort of go our separate ways.
Throughout the semester, the students complete a series of 5 assignments centered on the selected arts organizations. First, they examine the mission-based activities of the institution by using the organizational website, news media sources, and setting up Google alerts. Then, they learn the basics of reading a 990 tax form by completing a 5-year numerical trend analysis by downloading the tax forms from GuideStar.
Learning how to read a 990 has taught me the importance of keeping financial records and documents.
How big part of the revenue really comes from contributions, and how big part of the expenses salaries really are.
It's really cool to look at how much revenue is actually come from contributions or how much is actually earned, and being able to process that information really gives you a good understanding of the arts organization itself and how it operates.
Next, by applying a series of calculations that we learn in class and in the assigned readings, the students analyze the overall financial condition of the organizations and make suggestions for improvements.
If we eliminate the apprentice positions, we'll be saving $115,000, which we can take that money and put it into our more mission-based programming and hopefully pump that earned revenue back up and get it to the 60%. Which would be good.
After a complete chronological analysis of the financial data is done, The students apply the historical knowledge that they have gathered and utilize it to create full operational budgets for a future fiscal year based on the specific goals that they have themselves determined. As the last piece of the project, the students will prepare a 10-minute presentation which summarizes the historical data and presents a financial vision for the future based on the understanding of all of the materials that they have analyzed.
But we also need to ensure that these programs will be able to continue after our campaign is over.
In terms of class format, we spend most classes discussing concepts and issues in a large group. However, about 25 to 30% of the classes are actually spent in small groups, discussing the issues and challenges facing their specific arts organizations in preparation for their individual assignments.
I think it was really helpful in a group setting to be able to use each other's like strengths and weaknesses. So some people were really attuned to like programming and investing in like education. Other people were really like number savvy.
What I have found is that the semester-long case study has been shown to have several distinct advantages. It really allows for the students to build their knowledge of the organization naturally, the way they might if they were actually working at an arts organization. The time given to the project has allowed for a more complex understanding of the company and allows for the students to consider the organization holistically instead of just piece by piece.
Being able to use one specific organization instead of studying various organizations was really helpful to me because I could look in depth at information, I could understand it as a whole better than just as separate parts.
And lastly, this dedicated small group discussion time in class allowed for the students to share and troubleshoot complex issues while still owning responsibility for their own project.
And working as a group, we were able to, like you said, bounce ideas off of each other, and we kind of shared the same overall vision by the end for where we wanted our organization to go.
This type of case study has worked so well for me in this class, I may experiment with using the design in future classes as well. Should you have any questions about this process or my specific application of semester-long case study, please feel free to contact me at rachel.shane@uky.edu. And I look forward to seeing you all at next year's AAAE conference.